Hello and welcome to episode 49 of the Vibrant Dice Podcast. I am your host, Rebecca. You can find me as Engineers Falcon on Instagram and Ravelry. You can find the group for the Vibrant Dice Podcast on Ravelry under Vibrant Dice Podcast.
I'm Charles, and you can find me as CS Gaiden on pretty much all the social media places.
Peaks and pitfalls this week. Our only major pitfall, I guess, is that my car is dead. It has almost 200,000 miles on it, so if it's the battery was dead, and so we got a new battery for it, and that battery didn't fix anything, and we may have fried it. I don't know.
Yeah, something's sorted out, but the mechanic is going to find that out.
Yeah, so there may be decision making about cars in the future, depending on how much this one costs and all those kinds of things. So, and it was in the garage, of course. Well, I'm thankful it was in the garage when it died because at least we were at home.
Yeah.
And since it took the tow truck 8 hours to find us
and
get to us.
There was some drop of communication.
Horrid town. But because of all that, they had nothing. When you turned the key, nothing happened. So they couldn't put it in neutral. So they had to drag it out of the garage.
Yeah. I did find out later that, well, it can't go into neutral without power on because it's a safety feature. There is a little tab somewhere on the steering column that you open it up and then push a latch inside there, and it will unlock it if you're stuck like this.
So for
found that out
reference.
After they drug our car out of the garage.
Yeah. In fact, as we pulled out, Charles had dealt with them. So as we pulled his car out to travel in this weekend, he was like, "Oh, before you see the skid marks, they had to drag your car out." So that made me. I would have probably been a little concerned.
Yeah.
That's a major pitfall. We finished week 13 of school. We spent a whole weekend at home. We watched all the Harry Potter movies and ate Halloween candy.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun. It was a good weekend. And I think the first time in 4 or 5 months, maybe 6, that we've spent the whole weekend at home, just the 4 of us, not had company, not traveled at all. So that was kind of fun. We got a lot done and still had a lot of playtime.
Yeah.
Peaks this week. Just a few little things. First I have a new favorite drink. My 5-pump iced chai breve from Starbucks used to be my favorite. Oh, I'm making it move. Sorry. That was my shaky little hands. But I have a new favorite that I can even make at home. In fact, I can't get it at Starbucks, although I do use my Starbucks espresso and my new little Starbucks cup, so I didn't have to keep stealing Charles's. I think it's really cute. It is half espresso, half sweetened condensed milk. It's really good.
It's a cafe bonbon.
So I stumbled across that, and I might have had multiples and some doubles last weekend. And if I hadn't been scared of the Starbucks coffee maker, I would have had them all week. So that's what I plan to drink all weekend. Because it's finally acting like autumn here, so I want to drink warm drinks and not iced drinks.
Yeah, we went from 80 or 90 degrees to 50. So
it is Halloween at our house, and so my mom got us all little Halloween presents, and I have to show you this. This is from Barnes & Noble. It's a mug, and I hope you can see. Oh, you can. Okay. Here's a kitty cat. Her tail makes the handle, and on the other side, yarn and needles. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. So, my two white mugs to drink things out of. I would probably drink hot cocoa out of this one. Hot apple cider. I need to go get some cider mix and some milk. Yeah. We have a little place here that's like a little gardening center, right?
Yes.
And then they put up trees for Christmas, and they sell the best cider mix. What else? Do you want to show them your mug?
Oh, yes. I also got a mug. It's quite fitting.
He's evil. And then the kids got, and we'll play and let you know. The kids got the Minecraft card game. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, this was new to me.
So I'm sure we will play that before the day's up.
So, yeah, we learned of its existence like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So. And then let's save these for game related news. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Talk about that in game related news.
So, things you finished.
Mountain of Conquered Things. Oh my goodness, can I tell you how much I love House Cup because I finished stuff. Are you sitting down? You might faint. Look what I finished. It's that Wretched Minds of Moria hat. Actually, I love this hat. It's one of my favorites. But
yeah, it's really cool.
I've had the yarn for it for 3 years, and it's been on the needles for 6-8 months, maybe. So I just had to sit down and suck it up and finish it. And it's for my cousin. It's not for me because I already have one, and Charles already has one. So this was my third one to knit. I love it. It's color work and cables. So I would not say it's hard necessarily, but it does involve. I would not make this your first color work or cabling pattern.
Yeah.
Minds of Moria hat. I also had to make some adjustments. I've realized way at the last minute trying to finish it for Detention and House Cup that I was going to run out of red yarn, which is my own fault because I went up a needle size and added a longer brim on it. So I had to fudge the pattern as I went so I could finish it up, and it's still plenty big. So the actual Minds of Moria hat has 3 rows of these, and I just took a row of these larger diamonds out. So I'm still really pleased with it, and I can't wait to give it to him. I think I'll see him at Thanksgiving, the cousin that it's going to. I finished, you've seen sock 1, but I finished sock 2 of my BFF in New Mexico's socks. This is the Hermione's Everyday Sock texture pattern. I used a toe from Ann Budd's Craxy class. I don't know what its official name is, the class or the toe. I put a Fish Lips Kiss heel on it. I put a...
Super stretchy.
Yeah, surprisingly stretchy bind off, but this is a Twisted Rib. Is that right?
Sure.
Knit one through the back loop purl, knit one through the back loop purl. I really like the look that gives it, and so that's what I do. So these are done. I did these by measuring. You will see why. Well, I'll show you my works in progress. Why I needed a really good recipe to make socks that fit is because no one in my life has socks that fit each other. Because this is what's on the needles right now. This is Climbing the Mountain. This is a sock for the engineer. And just this part is almost the same length as this entire sock. So she has little bitty, well, her feet are about the size of Wiley's, a little bit bigger. And he has huge feet. Do you guys knit men's socks? I had no clue. I had no idea how big they were. Those men's feet, or at least my man's feet.
Yeah, they are quite appreciated.
Your feet?
Yes, my feet. The socks too. This one feels really good on my feet.
He's never worn a hand knit sock before,
yeah.
so
We were testing it for size last night, and it fits very well. And she's up around the back of the heel and going with the legs. So.
Yeah. The other things that are finished, I have this pretty green 2-ply. This was dyed, I think it was called Green with Envy from Twist Fiber Studios. I love it. It's semi-solid. It's as close to a solid as I've ever spun. Oh no, I've done a handful of solids. I did that purple.
Oh yeah.
But I like it real well. I think it's real pretty. And I did an art bat for myself. I'm going to weave a cowl with this. This was a bat from Fat Cat Knits, one of her bats. And it is the funkiest, fluffiest, ugliest yarn I've ever made, and I love it. I think it's so ugly, it's pretty. So, blacks and grays and whites and purples and silvers. And everything under the kitchen sink in that. I think this one was Polworth. And this is made up of everything. All the things.
I don't see.
Oh, here it is. One other finished object. The boy Geekling, as I've mentioned, has high functioning autism, and one of the things that goes along with it for him is a tick. And so, as many times as he's tried knitting, because he twitches and ticks, he's had a lot of trouble. So we taught him to weave, and he loves it. And he finished his second scarf this week. What's he calling it? Pokeball?
I think so.
I'm calling it Gotta Catch 'em All because that's what it started out as. Helped him with the fringe. We all wove on it a little bit, but he did most of the work. And for his second attempt at anything on the loom, I thought he did a really nice job.
Yeah.
It's really long and fun, and I might have to steal it sometimes because it's really nice.
That's nice.
So, but I told him he had to get it off my loom because this is going on soon. I think that's all that's finished. Climbing the mountain. This is a one-of-a-kind fiber created by LCB. This is the first bobbin because my pilot is in the shop. We had to bring the engineer's little Buick sedan. So Theodosia Ernestine, the spinning wheel, couldn't come. So I'm not working on her at all. Climbing the mountain. This is climbing the mountain. This sock. It has to be done by midnight if I want Harry Potter House Cup credit for it. This was climbing the mountain. I think that's all I've worked on this week. Your shawl is still...
Oh, yeah, this week. Maybe not.
Yeah, I've got my big shawly shoulder stole. I think it's going to be almost stole-like when I'm done with it. I haven't touched this week. So, I did. I worked on it quite a bit during Harry Potter. But it's still not worth taking out of the bag. I will show it to you next week. Hopefully I'll be considerably further along on it. So that is what I have been working on this week. It's been busy, but productive. I'm really glad to have the Mines of Moria hat done. It was really stressing me out. You'd think by the third time I'd done that pattern, I would feel confident, but I didn't. I felt unsure the whole time. So, I'm closing the threads for the October Fiber and Dice Instagram sometime tonight or in the morning, and I will also be closing the Fat Cat Knits Finished Objects and Chatter threads. So I would say get those turned in, but by the time this goes up and you see it, you will have probably already missed the deadline. So sorry about that. I guess that brings us to
Gamerly News.
Gamerly News.
And late birthday present for me.
Yes.
From her sister. And it was only late because it was a Kickstarter, and so it didn't deliver until like this past week or so. But they are RPG coasters. These are in cherry, and you can find them. I think they're selling them retail now as rpgcoasters.com. But they are stamped and carved, and I can't see anything because I've covered my own face. So there's a wizard one and a clerk. So
there are more. Like these are just the ones she picked.
Yeah, the ones she picked were like all the very classical character classes, but they're just all very detailed and
I can hold those up so
gorgeous.
You can still talk and see. This is
me. That's why you want to hold it up.
It's me,
the Game Master.
I love it, and we laugh so hard.
The non-player character. Random villagers, farmers, other people you meet that the Game Master pretends to be during your quest.
So fun.
So they were really cool. We're excited about those.
Okay. We played quite a bit this week.
We did.
Pathfinder. I think it might be my favorite of all the new games we played for 10x10, or are playing for 10x10 this year. I love it. It will probably go on next year's list. I would like to request it for next year's list with one of the new...
Yeah, we're doing the adventure card game, not the role-playing game.
Yes, adventure card game. Sorry. We played My Little Pony again. I did not hiss or spit or see the hatred out of my pores this time. Now that we don't have to think about it to play, I don't hate it. I still don't recommend it. The My Little Pony collectible card game, I don't recommend it. But it was a good game. The game we played was good.
Yes.
I think it might be the first time you've won this year.
It might be.
You'd think winning every time would make me like it.
Apparently
Nope. Nope.
not. We played Carcassonne,
We did.
and I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank now. But
Oh, As You Wish. We played As You
oh
Wish.
yeah,
Oh, and we tallied up where we are on all of our goals, our gaming goals for this year. We are most of the way to 365. I think we're down well under 100 now.
yeah.
We have, of course, 2 by 2, so 2 games in November and 2 games in December to play twice each, and those are picked out.
We're at 76 or 77 of our 100 unique games played this year.
And about that far on our 10 by 10.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be able to finish up. There are a couple games we're 4 behind on for 10 by 10. Belfort.
And Legend of Drizzt.
I don't know how we got behind on that one because I like that
Yeah.
game. So I think just because it takes a while to set up.
Yeah.
So
But we're not playing any of those games this weekend.
No, none of those games. Because it is Halloween, we are playing all of our... Oh, we did, before I get into the games of the week, we played Pandemic Legacy again last night, our second round. Check out the Instagram feed, my Instagram feed. You will see Charles and the sister person and the wow, we almost died faces they were making because, oh my goodness.
The tension and nervousness makes it fitting for a Halloween game, even though it's technically not.
It was so scary. We almost died. And the fate of the world is in our hands. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, sorry. Top 10, and I say, well, no, they are our top 10. Top 10 games we are going to play for Halloween weekend. Now, we may not get to all of them, but we're going to try. Before we start, can we do our honorable mention first so I don't forget it?
Oh, yes.
Honorable mention is Mansions of Madness. It is an excellent Halloween weekend game, but we marathoned play it for Thanksgiving, so we decided not to play it this weekend because we're going to play it in less than a month for Thanksgiving. These are in order from smallest box to biggest-ish box because that's how they're stacked beside us. So these are in no particular order. What we're playing for Halloween.
Tricks and Treats. We won this from the Gen Camp raffle back at the end of July. I think we got it like late August. But it is very Halloween themed. You are all sneaky little children trying to get the biggest share of the candy that your parents are trying to divide equally. So basically there's a handful of candy baskets out. One of them is yours. You get that assigned secretly. And then you're playing candy into it. And you're trying to get the most candy in it without anybody figuring out which one is yours. Because if they do and call you on it, you get no candy and you're out of the game. And then they get your basket. So
fun, easy. It is rated 8 and up, 2 to 4 players. Oh, it took us, 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes. We played it outside of Starbucks the other night.
Yeah.
It was really quick, a lot of fun. Very easy for anyone to just kind of sit down and play.
It's nothing we're going to pull out over and over and over, but we will play it every Halloween a few times and really enjoy it. Yeah. Our next seasonally themed game is Gloom. I've talked about Gloom before. It was Game of the Week.
Yeah.
At one point. You play as a family. You are seeing how much despair and angst and suffering you can stack on each member of your family before you kill them off and get points.
Yeah. If they're not dead, they're not worth anything.
They're not worth anything to you. 13 and up, 2 to 4 players. Yeah. It's kind of a grown-up game.
A little, because you've got bad things happening to people. It's all kind of a dark humor.
Yeah, it's very dark humor, but storytelling and fun.
Our daughter's favorite game, One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
This is the box for the Daybreak expansion. Oh, yeah. This has been a game of the week too. It's all hidden roles. You go around and do your turn. Nobody knows what you are. And at the end of the game, you have to guess who amongst you are the werewolves. So it's villagers versus werewolves. This is one of my favorite games ever, yes.
Chupacabra.
Survive the night. It's a dice rolling game. You are trying to eat everyone else's. Like a little birdhouse in your soul. Who was it? Did you look? So, great game. I'm going to let Mr. Smith talk about a couple of these. I'm going to go check that phone call. I will be right back.
Okay.
Keep talking. It's all yours. I've never handed my podcast
I have
over before.
control. Next one is Elder Sign, and this is in Fantasy Flight's series of Cthulhu Arkham themed games. This one is dice rolling, and you are investigators in like a 1920s setting. You're in a museum, and weird creepy monsters are coming out to take over the world and kill you. So that one's a lot of fun. It's probably the quickest one of each of those. The next one is Betrayal at House on the Hill. It starts as cooperative, and you're just investigators exploring a mansion. And then you draw tiles, and you're going through finding new rooms, finding new items, kind of powering up your characters. At some point, well, after every so many turn or certain things happen, you roll dice, and when the dice come up to be a certain number, the haunt starts. And then there is a betrayer, and that person gets their own book and their own secret goal, and everybody else works as a team, and they have their own goal, and then it's one versus everybody else trying to either kill everybody else off or escape the mansion, or there's I think 50 different scenarios in there that could happen.
This was one of the first kind of darker themed games I'd ever played, and it has become one of my favorites. I enjoy it a lot.
It is. I didn't say. I think Elder Science is also 13 and up.
Yeah.
And it plays 1 to 8 players. It's totally cooperative.
Yes.
This one is mostly cooperative. I'd say it's probably 12 or 13 and up. And plays. I don't know if you can. Oh, there you go. 3 to 6 players. I'm sorry, I didn't think you could play with just 2.
No.
But it's a lot of fun. Next one, Escape Zombie City.
We have a game of the week that is a different escape. This is a real-time game. You are all trapped somewhere, and you, in this case, a city. All the escape games have different themes. And you start the timer, and it gives you instructions, and you start rolling your dice, and you use your dice to perform actions, to move, to collect things, to do all sorts of different things, and you have to meet certain criteria before the timer runs out. And they run, what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah. And so...
Oh, this one's 15. 2 to 4 players, 10 and up, 20 minutes. And here's, I'll just show you the...
Yeah, so this is another one where you're drawing tiles, exploring the city, and rolling dice to try and match them.
Bad things happen.
Yeah. That's kind of the theme in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Including this one, which is another co-op, Zombicide. There you go, 13 and up.
1 to 6 players,
Yep.
1 hour.
Yeah. Well, it says some of the scenarios, this one has like a mix of scenarios.
True.
And you do set up the entire board ahead of time. Like these last couple, you're kind of adding to the board and it grows through the game. This one starts built, starts with some zombies, and then basically it's the zombie apocalypse and you're trying to gather supplies and escape.
Yes. As is
This game,
Dead of Winter.
which might be my favorite
In the
of all of our
stack.
zombie games.
Yeah, me too.
No, the next one's my favorite. This one's this one's about equal.
I agree. The next one is my favorite in the stack. This is my favorite zombie game that we play.
Yeah.
I don't even like zombies. For the record, I don't read zombie movies. I don't watch zombie shows or movies or read zombie books. But I love the zombie games, apparently, because I keep buying them.
This one is 13 and up, 2 to 6 players, I think it said. And this one has, we'll have to do this as game of the week sometime.
Yes.
It's got a broad range of scenarios, and some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. You can play it totally cooperative, you can play it semi-cooperative, and you can play it with a potential hidden traitor.
Hidden traitor. So
You take like loyalty cards equal to the number of people, plus I think like 1 or 2, and then put in 1 or 2 traitor cards, shuffle them all, and then deal them out. So maybe there's a traitor, maybe there's not. Everybody has a hidden objective that's usually counter to
the group
the
production.
Group. Yeah. It's like I want to hoard all the food because I'm paranoid about running out of food, or I want to build a bunch of barricades against the zombies, or maybe I'm just doing all this because I'm trying to make the group fail because I'm the traitor.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
So
So it can get very intense.
it is. It's a
a lot of
pretty
fun.
intense game. It is 13 and up, 2 to 5 players, 60 to 120 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and everyone we played that one with has liked it. We played it with both of our standard gaming groups. And the favorite in the whole stack is
Eldritch Horror. And this is the Mountains of Madness, excuse me. Wrong game. Same universe, wrong game. Mountains of Madness expansion. The base game is also this size. It just says Eldritch Horror on the front. It's the base game. You do need that to play. This added a bunch of new things, including a board with Antarctica on it. And we've got one other expansion in here, too.
I don't remember what it's
I
called.
don't remember what it is either. It's the Snake People one. But
Yeah.
and this one is totally cooperative. And this is kind of the grown-up version, or not grown-up, but larger version of what
Hardcore.
Elder Signs and Arkham Horror was the game that kind of came before this.
Yeah.
This has kind of streamlined some of that from Arkham Horror, but it still is everybody working together to try and stop Cthulhu or other ancient ones from breaking into the world and destroying it.
Yeah. Fantasy Flight, to me, this sign means complicated, log rule book, but awesome once you're through it.
Yeah, they make really good games.
They
But
make
are
great
very,
games, but they're real meaty.
This one usually takes us, with just the two of us, it takes us an hour to an hour and a half. We played one version of this with 6 people, and it took like 3 hours.
Oh, it was so long. We played late into the night.
Because mainly we couldn't ever make progress. The game wasn't beating us, but we weren't getting any farther on it either.
Yeah, we were just at a stalemate, a long, hard stalemate. But it was good.
a lot of fun,
I'm glad
yeah.
we finished it. So that's our 10 Halloween weekend games. I am going to try to get this up while it is still Halloween. And I guess, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I will see you guys again in November.
Happy game on